Hi everybody! Today's show is all about skincare. So how do you get your best skin through topical skincare products such as retinoids and vitamin C and chemical peels, as well as at-home skincare gadgets and some in-office do's and don'ts. So I'll let you guys start coming on. Sorry I was a tiny bit late today. I've moved into this new house, as many of you know, and my skincare products are in the other room. So I do my content in here, my products are in the other room, and at the last minute I'm like, oh my God, I have to go get my products. So today's show, for those of you guys who are on here, this show is all about the ultimate skincare routine. And I'm not just talking about products that you add topically to your skin. We're gonna talk about topical skincare, but we're also gonna talk about topical skincare such as chemical peels and retinoids and all the good stuff that we put on top of our skin. But we're also going to talk about things like microneedling and microcurrent and red light therapy, those kind of modalities that I use at home in conjunction with some in-office things and some do's and don'ts in terms of fillers and things like that we're going to talk about. So, hi everybody, happy Saturday, let's get going. Okay, so interesting enough, I'm almost 56. I'll be 56 in April 10th. Wow. That's really soon. I'll be 56 very, very soon. I am a 55-year-old now gerontologist and healthy aging coach. And it's interesting because I get a lot of people that want a one-on-one session with me to talk about skincare. And what I do is I get them in with the skincare and then I help them live longer and look better while doing so. Who did your eyebrows and all? They look great. Me. I have no makeup on today, you guys. Today is a no makeup show for me, other than I've got a little bit of a tinted lip balm on and I've got some mascara and I've filled in my eyebrows a little bit. But in terms of my skin, there's nothing on my skin today. And the reason is, why would I do a show on skincare and then cover up my 55-year-old skin with a bunch of makeup? So we're not doing that today. This is just fresh, clean skin today. Thank you so much. All right. So what is the ultimate skincare routine? It's number one, tailor-made to your skin. This is not the time to cheat off your neighbor's paper, right? Everybody has different skincare concerns. You have to find the skincare routine that works for your concerns. So tailor-made to your skin, backed by science, and it has to be consistent. So those three things: tailor-made to your skin, backed by science, and consistent. Now, I'm not saying that you can't throw in the occasional crazy skincare thing that's coming out, like if it's a honeydew melon, or they're getting this prickly pear here, or this whatever. But the basics, the ones that are backed by science, are not these like fancy stuff that they're just adding little ingredients in. There's real effective skincare, and that's what we're going to talk about today, and it needs to be tailor-made to your concerns, okay? So we're going to talk about the daily stuff that I do, the skincare and the red light therapy. So if I were to do one thing daily, it's red light therapy. The skincare is daily in terms of the topical stuff, and red light therapy for me is, well, I would say I aim to have to do this daily for 10 minutes, right? And I also have the panels. So when we're talking about daily skincare, topical stuff that goes on top of your face, and red light therapy. Weekly stuff, at-home stuff, is chemical peels, right? And things like the at-home skincare gadgets, such as, I'm just gonna drop a bunch of shit in the background, sorry you guys, such as microcurrent, radio frequency, those kind of modalities. And then there's the monthly things, the microneedling, right? So those are three different kinds of ways that you can incorporate, tricking your skin into behaving like it did when it was younger. And that's what we're really doing, right? So let's talk about the why about it. Well, first of all, before I do that, because I missed one part of that, there's the daily part, right, which is the topical skincare. There's the weekly stuff, which is the at-home skincare gadgets, right? And then there's the monthly stuff, which is the microneedling, right? And then there's the few times a year stuff, which for me is Botox. And then I sometimes will have a yearly bonus where I'll do something in office where, whatever I'm working on at that particular time, I might do a Secrets RF or a Morpheus 8 on my tummy, or I might do a Sculptra in my neck or something like that. But those are like yearly things, like kind of presents to myself. On a daily basis, we're talking about the other stuff, right? The skincare, all of the stuff all of the peels that we do, the gadgets that we do. Okay, so why is skincare important for healthy aging? I'm not a dermatologist, you guys. I'm a healthy aging coach. I'm a gerontologist, so somebody who studies the aging process, the physical part of aging, including the skin, the physical part of aging, the psychological part of aging, the social part of aging. That's what a gerontologist does. I happen to be a guinea pig for the whole skincare industry since I bought my first wrinkle cream at the age of 15. I love that stuff. That's not what I went to school for, but I understand the science behind it. And at almost 56 years old, I walk the talk. Wait till you see. I mean, for those of you who know me and have been, following me for a while, you know that like when I say be consistent and I walk the talk, this is what I mean. This is my skincare protocol calendar that I do. So if you want this, you just DM me the word protocol, not here, but when I post it to my main feed. But this is what we're going to be talking about as well. And why is it that I feel that skincare is so important to healthy aging? Skin is our largest organ. It's our only outward facing organ. But it's that organ which, if we try to do something to make it look younger and function younger, all of a sudden we're shamed into it. You shouldn't be doing this. You should grow old gracefully. I call BS on that crap, because there's many different ways to grow older. And if you are incorporating self-love in terms of exercising to build muscle mass, making sure that you're getting like your fish oil for cardiovascular health, and you're meditating to help with the stress, and you're grounding, and you're doing all of these things, why can't we spend 30 minutes a day on skincare without being shamed about it? I, for one, I call BS on that. It's important to me, and it's important to everybody, because it is our only outward-facing organ. It is that organ which we present to the world. It's our largest organ. It's outward-facing. We present it to the world, and it is that organ which we can hold our self-esteem in. It's related to our self-esteem. It's really interesting because, there's very few people on the planet that says, I don't care what I look like. I'm just going to grow old. But then you get your hair colored, you're using skincare, you're doing all of the other stuff, right? So we do care what we look like when we get older. We're human beings, right? We're facing people, we're talking with people. If you had a big zit right in the middle of your forehead, you would understand what I'm saying. Let's just equate it with that. If you had a big zit right in the front of your forehead, and I mean not like not like a little thing. Right now I've got a white head right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. With a little white head right there. If you had a big zit in the middle of your forehead and you have to go to a meeting, if you think that doesn't affect your confidence at that time, you're mistaken, because it does. And it's so closely tied to our self-esteem that if we feel, and let me give you another analogy, because I use this analogy a lot for those of you who are new, who are following me now, or who are on this live, I mean. If you could equate putting your best skin forward with having a good hair day, or being able to, like, you got into those jeans that you just were a little tight on you a while ago, and now you're like, oh, I can fit in these jeans now. The last thing you're going to do is sit your ass on the couch and eat a bag of Doritos, right? You want to get out there in the world when you have a good hair day or you're feeling good about yourself. The same thing is true for skin. It is that organ which shows our age. You don't go around saying, oh my God, you have beautiful blood vessels. Look at your bones. They're amazing. Our skin shows a lot about our health, and it is outward facing. So is it important with healthy aging? Absolutely, 100%. Okay, and everything is connected. So how you treat your body on the inside. I say that I get a lot of my clients in through skincare. They want to know how to microneedle. And we'll Zoom and do a microneedling together. But I get a lot of them through skincare, with skincare questions. And then once they get finished working with me, they understand, not only is it what you put on your face, but it's, are you moving your body to increase circulation? What foods are you eating? How much sugar are you consuming? How much processed food are you consuming? You think that what you eat and what you do in your life does not affect your skin? Go without sleep. You'll see it'll show up in your skin. Give up alcohol and see how much better your skin looks. Or just eat junk and see like how that affects your skin. It's all connected. So I do an inside out, outside in approach to healthy aging. I work on all the inside stuff so that the skin shines from underneath, but you also address the concerns from the outside. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? It's an inside out, outside in approach to healthy aging. So that's the goal. We want to increase the health span, so not just the number of years on the planet, but how many healthy years, and that includes the skin as well. So you want to treat the skin both inside and out, as it deserves that respect, you guys, because it's much more than just like, what do you look like? It really reflects your inner health as well. And I can't stress this enough. I'm not talking about comparing your skin or your outsides to anybody else other than you. Not anybody on social media, nobody, not even your neighbor, not your friends. We all know what our skin when our skin looks its best, we know. Just like we know when we're at our fighting weight, you know, a weight that we feel is healthy, that looks good. This is not the time, like I said, to cheat off your neighbor's paper in addressing your skincare problems, but it's also not the time to be comparing yourself to younger people or to people who are overly filtered on Instagram or anybody for that matter. This is about your best skin forward. This is about you, okay? So how do we get there? Number one, realize that the look of your skin is directly affected by your overall health, okay? So we're starting from the inside. Develop a personalized skincare routine that is for your concerns, not your neighbors. Be consistent and use a combination of modalities. So the topical stuff along with the at-home skincare gadgets, along with diet and exercise, along with dry brushing, along with multiple different things. Because what I have found in addressing anything, if you want to address muscle mass, you can't just only eat protein, right? You got to get in the gym. You can't just only get in the gym. There's lots of different ways to affect one organ or one body part. And with the skin, just like everything else, it takes multiple different ways if your goal is to have your best skin ever. Okay, so let's start with the topical stuff. There's 3 phases of any great skincare routine. Wash, treat, protect. Wash, treat, protect. Go and look at your skincare and see if there is an active ingredient in it for treating. The washing part is easy because I don't spend a lot of money on face wash because it washes off of your face. Don't spend your money on face wash. I like simple things like Physoderm, Cetaphil, you know, unscented, something that doesn't, CeraVe, something that doesn't strip the skin, but leaves that skin barrier there, and it just washes off clean. That's not the main part where you're gonna get the treatment, where you're actually gonna make a difference in the function of the skin. We wanna get it clean first. That's easy. The active ingredients is what active ingredient is specific to your concerns. For me, at almost 56, it's about fine lines and wrinkles. It's the aging of the skin, right? If somebody's younger here or they have adult acne, it might be acne and acne scars and the marks and all of that is your main concern. You would treat that differently. I'm in the aging category, so I'm going to talk about that. And then protection. So wash, treat with an active, and protect it. Whoa, somebody just sent balloons. I don't think I've ever had that before. Amazing. I didn't even know that was possible. Okay. I'm gonna have a little mushroom coffee and celebrate. I just got sent balloons. Okay. So wash, treat, and protect no matter what your skin type, no matter what your concern. Wash it, treat it, protect it, morning and night. All right? So like I said, I don't spend a lot of money on face wash. It washes off your face. I am really liking this one by Young Goose, but I left it in the other room. I'll talk about that maybe in a story. But CeraVe, hydrating cleanser, Physoderm, Cetaphil, those kinds are just absolutely perfect. In the morning though, so after you wash your face, let's talk morning. I feel like I want to open up this a little bit more. Oh, you know what it is? I lost the lights here. That's what it is. I'm like, what happened? All of a sudden, I got a little dark in here. I can open this a little bit more. Okay, one sec, guys. Coming back at you. I don't want to be too backlit, but felt a little claustrophobic in here. Okay. All right, so when we're talking about in the morning, wash your face, and then you're going to use a vitamin C. You're not going to. You can do whatever you want to do. But I'm just telling you, in terms of actives for the morning, a vitamin C goes on next. And that is, you know, it's an antioxidant. Vitamin C also helps to accumulates in your skin, and helps to better protect you from oxidative stress and sun damage and all of that. So I really like this one by Timeless. This is a 20% vitamin C ferulic acid with vitamin E in it. I like it because it's affordable and super cost effective. And I actually not only use this on my face and my neck and my chest, I use it on my arms, I use it on my abdomen. Sometimes I'll even use it on my legs, but it's very, very watery. See? So it spreads evenly. I don't know if I have already done all this on my face, but I do this on my arms as well, and it brightens up any skin tone. So it doesn't lift the spots away, but it evens out skin tone. It acts as an antioxidant. It accumulates in your body so that it's more of a sun protection as well. And then, so this is one of my favorites. There's also the SkinCeuticals 20% CE ferulic acid that costs a fortune. I think it's like $169 for the SkinCeuticals. I don't have that one here. I used it for a long time. I ran out. I have not repurchased it. I'm on this Timeless, which I think is, I want to say it's like $30 or something, the CE ferulic acid. And then Paula's Choice also makes a C15 Super Boost that I really like as well. Niacinamide, if you are somebody that has dark spots, let me see if I can find this in here. La, la, la. If you're somebody that has dark spots, you can also, which I do, I have farm girl arms. If you guys missed that live show that I did on sunspots, hyperpigmentation, and melasma, it's in my story highlights. So you can click on that and watch that live show. I've got a whole bunch of treatments for sunspots, hyperpigmentation, and melasma. So make sure that you get that. This is niacinamide. This is Facial Radiance Niacinamide Dark Spot Serum. It's by First Aid Beauty. I love this, and it really does. I kind of layer it. Sometimes I'll put it on at night. Sometimes I'll put it on in the morning. It goes really well with retinoids as well, but it helps to lighten any dark spots. And that's niacinamide. So listen, I'm not here to sell you guys products, okay? I'm here to teach you the science of it so that you know what to look for and you stop wasting your money on crap. There's so many products out there that promise so many things, and they don't deliver. And not only that, but they create lazy skin cells. So if you're only doing in the 3 phases of wash, treat, and protect, you're only doing the wash and protect, hey, you're creating lazy skin cells. I learned that from Dr. Obaji. Like I said, I'm not a dermatologist, but I have befriended many of them because I come in with questions, and I highly respect what they do. It's the one education that I am self-educated in. So I learned a lot from Dr. Obaji, and one of the things I learned that over moisturizing will create lazy skin cells. So if you're treating in the morning and all you're doing is washing your face and then you're just layering on the moisture, you're missing an opportunity of an active ingredient that will actually treat what your concerns are. Hope you make this into a post. So much info. Oh, you think there's so much info now? We're 15 minutes in this. You just wait. I got a lot to share here. But yeah, it is going to be a post afterwards. Do I have a favorite Zeo product? I do. Oh my God. Zeo Skin Health, I have to say, although start looking at Young Goose. You guys, start looking at Young Goose because they're doing some really amazing, I don't think I have it here. I didn't bring it over. My favorite Zeo Skin Health product would be the Growth Factor. It comes in the silver container, and it's like a little push-up thing. I love that. I love that, and you can use that on top of everything. But again, that's a bonus. Those are bonus product. Let me just make sure. Okay, yeah, those are bonus products. So if we're just talking about morning, we washed our face, then we use the Active, which is a vitamin C serum. Maybe we throw in a little niacinamide if you're having dark spots. And then you protect. So a sunscreen is the protection in the morning. So even when I did this to my arms, if I'm not even leaving the house today, this is only a factor 15, but it has a great moisturizer in it. This is by Olay. I use this on my arms because I feel like it gives me, I feel like my skin on my arms has gotten so much better just from making sure that this is by my toothbrush. And as I'm doing, after I do this, I don't leave my bathroom without putting on at least a 15, but usually a 30. So factor 30 is on my face. But a 15, like I'll use this just as lotion throughout the day when I'm inside. If I go outside, I use more physical barriers. But those are the 3 phases in the morning. Wash with a simple cleanser, use an Active, vitamin C or niacinamide, and then protect it with sunscreen. Now let's talk about night. At nighttime, oh, and you could use an eye cream. Make sure that you look at that live that I did on younger looking eyes. And if you are interested in the protocol for younger looking eyes, I don't want to get into so much the eye creams, but I created this guidebook that talks about whatever your specific concerns are. Dark circles, this gives you the products that I recommend for dark circles. Eye bags, you're going to want a caffeine solution, and you also can roll out the eye bag. So a little bit of a lymphatic drainage around the eye in the morning if you're puffy, and a caffeine solution. One of my favorite is by The Ordinary. Let's see if I can get it out here. It's by The Ordinary. It's a caffeine solution, 5%. This is great for eye bags. So if you're dealing with eye bags, the puffiness, caffeine solution and a roller. You don't need to buy an expensive roller. There's lots of different ways you can do this. This is the Venus. This vibrates. Let's see if I can get it to work. This vibrates, and you can kind of push out the fluid that way. You don't need a fancy one like that. You can use a roller. You can use one of those gua sha triangle things. You can also, if I have it here, I can see. Oh, I've got another roller. I've got rollers everywhere. But this will help too to depuff the under eye, right? And also lymphatic drain, like everything. So your roller doesn't have to be fancy, and I'm not selling any rollers here. Just letting you know that when you're dealing with your eye bags, you can do, it just depends on what you're treating. If you've got dark circles, you're going to use different products. If you've got eye bags, you're going to use different products. If you have fine lines and wrinkles and that's your concern, you're going to use different products. So just DM me the word eyes or younger eyes after this when I post it to my main feed, and you'll get this free guidebook with clickable links to all of the different ways to have younger looking eyes. And I think it even includes microneedling, because that's one of my top ways. We'll get to that a little bit later. But honestly, that's one of my top ways that I've found to really reduce the fine lines and wrinkles. Botox, #1, and then to change the health of the skin, microneedling, to create your own collagen from underneath. So on this one, you would just DM me younger eyes, and you'll get this sent right to your DM. It's absolutely free. You can download it. So I always print things out. I'm an analog girl, but you can download it, and then all the links are clickable, so it makes it really easier for you guys. Okay. So eye creams, make sure you watch that live replay. That's also in my story highlights. I did a whole show on younger looking eyes. Okay, so if that's your main concern, rewatch that live one. But my favorite products for dark circles is the CeraVe. I could try to find it in here for you guys, but I don't want to make sure I keep the lecture kind of moving. So for dark circles, I like the CeraVe eye repair cream for dark circles. It contains niacinamide. Remember, we were talking about this earlier. So if you have dark circles under your eyes, you're going to want to look for something with niacinamide. If you've got eye bags, you're going to want to look for the caffeine solution or caffeine that's in your eye serum and roll it out. And then the best overall eye cream, in my opinion, is the Zeo Skin Health Growth Factor Eye. And it's, I don't even think I brought it here. It basically addresses everything. So if you've got multiple concerns, that's a good one, but it's super expensive as well. And then hyaluronic acid. So we can talk about this as kind of a protection as well, because I don't use hyaluronic acid as a treatment. It is not a treatment. So if you are washing your face and you are not using an active and you're just using hyaluronic acid and a moisturizer, you're creating lazy skin cells. Dr. Obagi taught me this, and I'll give you just a little bit of what he said. If your skin cells have a certain amount of moisture in them, right? Between the epidermis and in that dermis, there's moisture that's in there. If you're just continually covering, I'm going to get moisture, let's just layer on a bunch of moisture. What it does is it creates the lazy skin cells from beneath, because they realize, oh, somebody got me covered from above. I don't need to make my own moisture. I don't need to keep as active as I need to be, because someone's already putting a bunch of moisturizer on top. So if you look at like the science, the things that have been the most effective are things that dry, in terms of the aging of the skin, are things that dry out the skin. I know it's counterintuitive. I know it is. A lot of what I teach is counterintuitive, right? Like a freezing cold ice plunge heats the core. What happened to your hands? Are you okay? What's wrong with my hands? I was moving. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with my hands, but I've been moving. So my hands aren't probably looking their best. No. I mean, for 56, that's not a bad looking hand for 56, whoever said that. And I did a live on younger looking hands, a whole live. I mean, my nails are shot right now. Look at this one. My nails are shot right now because there's a lot of opening up boxes, and, you know, moving wreaks havoc on your hands and your stress level, a lot of different stuff. Okay, so I use hyaluronic acid sometimes in the morning to kind of seal everything in. Do you know the products of Truth Treatments? No, I don't. But I'll look that up. So if you're doing an active in the morning and then you want to put on a moisturizer or a hyaluronic acid and just kind of let that all set in before you put on your sunscreen, that's something that, you know, I would recommend doing. I don't do that every day. Normally I just go from a wash to an active to a sunscreen, and then an eye cream, but that is available to you. Okay, so in the morning, you're gonna protect with an SPF 30 plus or more. Again, this is what I just do. I use it as moisture, and if I'm going outside or doing anything, I'll reapply. My face is always a factor 30, always, always, always. And then, yeah, so my favorites in terms of sunscreens, did I bring it in here? Let's see. The CeraVe 30 plus, oh, here it is. No, this is the PM, but they make an AM. It's in the other room. The CeraVe AM. I love this because it's a treatment as well. It's ultra lightweight, but it contains 3 essential ceramides, niacinamide, which we talked about, and hyaluronic acid. So it is moisturizing and treatment a little bit with the AM one has a factor of 30 plus. Okay. I also like Rock multi-correctional SPF 30. And I oftentimes use this on my body as well. So this is even tone. It's a multi-correctional, so it evens the tone, lifts the chest, neck, and face cream, and it's a sunscreen of SPF 30. So how do you use a jar like this intended for the face on the whole body? It's little dots. This is what I have found to be the most effective in getting products that are maybe not made for the body, spread out to the point where you've got some good coverage and you've got something that's working for the health of your skin. Remember, you guys, your skin doesn't stop here. It's your whole body. So you can utilize products that are made for your face, for your skin. I'm not gonna do that other arm because just for sake of time. But man, that feels good. And it's moisturizing as well. So Rock has been around for a long time, you guys. Rock, Olay have been around for a long time. There is a reason for that. You don't see Olay or Rock making handbags or eyeshadow. Don't buy your skincare from somebody that makes clothing or eyeshadow or handbags. You're paying for the name. You're not paying for the ingredients in there. You're not paying for its effectiveness. You're paying for the name, for the packaging, for all of that stuff. Get back to the basics. Get back to the basics. Okay, nighttime routine. Oh, let me do this really quickly. In terms of my facial sunscreen, I love a tinted sunscreen. Elta MD makes a great sorry, it's so dirty. Makes a great tinted sunscreen. This is a broad spectrum SPF 44. I love Ilia. This is a super serum skin tint SPF 40. It's very, very thin and it's tinted. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah. See that? Very thin and tinted, and this has in it niacinamide, squalene, which is great for moisture, and hyaluronic acid. So it's a treatment and a sunscreen in one. I love that. So those are my favorites in terms of that. And with the tinted sunscreen, for those of you who saw those live shows that I did on sunspots, hyperpigmentation, and melasma, a tinted sunscreen gives you extra benefit because not only is it a zinc oxide, that's going to protect you from the sun, but it has an ion oxide with the tint. You get like a little bit of a double protection. If you suffer from anything with hyperpigmentation that's sun related, use a tinted sunscreen on your face. You're going to be so much happier. It's going to protect your skin so much more. Let's move on to the nighttime routine. Okay. Oh my God, what time is it? Okay. I have got a half hour and now we're on the nighttime routine. Okay. I'm going to just fly through this because we've got a lot to cover. Let me power up first. Same concept with nighttime, right? Cleanse, treat, protect. So how are we cleansing at night? We're going to do a double wash at night because we've had stuff, sunscreen and stuff on our skin all day. When you wake up in the morning, you can just, I don't really wash my face extensively in the morning, just, do my thing. But at night, I do a double cleanse. And the reason is because if you're not getting all of the crap off of your skin to begin with, you're creating a barrier that's not letting your nighttime actives penetrate the way that they need to. It's super important that your skin at night, you start with squeaky clean skin. That's how you're going to get the best results. So you can do a double cleanse in many different ways. You can do like a cleansing balm or an oil. I know that Clinique makes a great take the day off balm. I used to use that a lot. And then I would follow by a regular cleanser like the Physoderm, like the Cetaphil, those kind of just fragrance-free, clean cleansers. But you want to make sure that you get everything off. If you don't want to do a double cleanse with a balm, you can wash your face once and then wash it again and use a wash rag and just make sure that you've got everything out of there, right? Okay, so that's how you start. You still start with the cleanse, but then you go to the treatment phase. So remember, every good skincare routine has 3 phases. You wash, you treat, and you protect. At night, our treatment phase is going to include a retinoid. Retinoids are like the holy grail of skincare. I did an entire live show on retinoids. And I have a free guidebook. Oh my gosh, I give so much stuff away for free. I did a live show on retinoids. You can find that live show in my highlighted stories. There'll be a link because I realize my feed, it piles up. And so if you want to find my live shows, there's a highlight that says live shows. Click on the live shows, you'll see the retinoids come up and that will take you to the 1-hour live that I did all about retinoids. And this was which retinoid is right for you. So it's a free guidebook, clickable links, everything you need to know about retinoids. But remember that retinoids is that big umbrella term, right? So it's retinoids is the big umbrella term, but let's talk first about what do they do? Because if we understand the why and what they do, you're going to be like, I need to incorporate that and I need to be consistent about that. Yeah. You do. So what do? They treat all types of photoaging. It's the #1 ingredient in anything that has an anti-aging skincare on it. Trust me, there's probably retinoid in it. That is the #1 active ingredient. It was first discovered for the treatment of acne. We connect these dots here because to reduce wrinkles, it's not about moisture. It's about exfoliation. It's about cell turnover. And most of those treat acne. So it's very closely tied. Okay, so what do? It treats photoaging, that aging which we get from the sun, increases cellular turnover, stimulates collagen production, thickens the dermis. That's why you should use retinoids on your arms as well, people, because when we get older, this skin gets super thin. Have you ever seen your parents or your grandparents, when they brushed up against something, they had, red marks. They were always like bleeding or like little cuts and things on their skin because the skin gets very crepey as we get older. It thins out. Retinoids thicken the skin. Two things thicken the skin. Retinoids, chemical pills, but let's just say retinoids and microneedling. Those two things thicken the skin. So they treat fine lines and wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, melasma. It evens out the skin tone and texture. It minimizes pores, and it treats acne. That's all from retinoids. It's after sunscreen, it's the #1 ingredient to treat aging skin. I'm gonna say that again. After sunscreen, retinoids are the #1 ingredient to treat aging skin. Okay, but retinoids refers to a big umbrella term. Let me see if I can find the paperwork to show you guys. Maybe I can't. Yeah. So retinoids is the big umbrella term, right? But if you think about it, let's just take this away because the retinol esters, these are like the lowest, less concentrated versions. These are usually you can get through diet and supplements and things like that. But it starts with retinol. So retinoids is the umbrella term that encompasses retinol, retinaldehyde, and tretinoin. So retinol, retinol, are the over-the-counter retinoids that are the least amount of irritation. Then how you can tell how effective, or not how effective, but how potent a retinoid is how many steps does it take to get to the tretinoin, which is the retinoic acid. So this is the prescription strength. This is a tretinoin, right? This is a 0.1%. I have it in a 0.25%. That's prescription strength tretinoin. I have a 0.05%. Remember, if you want to see that live show that I did on retinoids, you can do one of two things. You can DM me the word retinoids and you'll get the retinoid guidebook for free, but you can also look in those story highlights. I did a whole live show on that, okay? And it shows you the amount of steps that it takes to get to the retinoic acid, which is tretinoin. The amount of steps it takes, the more steps it takes, the less strong that product is. So when we're talking about retinol, OL, that's the over-the-counter stuff. That's the, let's see what I have in here. Let's see. That's the ordinary, like, retinol 1% in squalane. Retinol, OL. Let's see what else I have in here. This is Rock Retinol Complexion, OL. So these are over-the-counter that are great starters and even great, forever. It's not like you have to go big or go home with retinoids, especially if you have super sensitive skin. But retinol, AL, is stronger because there's only one step away. So when we're talking about retinol, let's see if I brought anything over. Did I bring a retinol over? Shoot, I don't think I did. Oh, well, I have this from Murad, but I think that I left the product on the other side. No, I didn't. This is Murad. This is a retinol. This is actually an eye treatment. So if you have fine lines and wrinkles, this is going to be a stronger than a retinol OL. I love rockin' Olay in the back of my hands. Absolutely, 100%. I do too. Love it. Love it. Those people don't mess around, right? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Let me see what else I brought over here that I could show you guys that was a retinol. I think that was all I brought for the retinol. Okay, let's get back to this though. Now you kind of get the idea, right? A retinol OL is going to be the over-the-counter stuff that's not as strong, still effective, not as strong, but they have like the Paula's Choice 1%. I love. That's a great first starter, or even long-term. Paula's Choice makes that 1%. Let's see what else we have. And then we've got, oh wait, where's the Olay? Well, it's really, I really have to figure out a different way to be able to show you guys all this stuff, maybe in my other in the other bathroom. Okay, well, I might not be able to like pull stuff up to show you guys, but I'm going to still go through them, okay? So the order of weakest to strongest: retinol, OL, to retinaldehyde, which is an AL, retinal, to the retinoic acid or prescription strength Retin A. And if you have sensitive skin, there's also third generation retinoids, adapalene, which I love. This is by Differin. This is Differin gel. This is great for acne, but also if you have rosacea, if you have sensitive skin, everybody should be able to be on a retinoid of some sort, So I put this right up around my eyes and everything because it has less irritation, but there's a lot of studies that show they do a comparison in a 30-day comparison between using this every day and using a prescription strength, and they're very comparable. It's pretty shocking without the irritation. So if you have very sensitive skin, I really love this Differin gel. If you're suffering from acne, I really love this Differin gel as well. Okay, so let's see. Retinol. Okay, yeah, retinol is generally it's a little bit more tolerable at home, so you can get those over the counter. My top picks for retinol are the Olay 24 Max. Gosh, I don't know what happened in me gathering products, but it didn't work. The Olay 24 Max, I love that product for first-time users. I mean, it's not our grandma's Olay, you guys. It's not our grandma's Olay. They know a lot about the science of skincare, and it's often at the forefront because they're accessible and effective. And the same thing with the Rock. Rock makes a Rock Retinol Correction Max Cream, which I don't know what happened to that. But they make them, it's like this, but it's in a a goldish kind of container. And I'll oftentimes use that on my arms at night. So I'll use the Rock Max, Retinol Max hydration cream on my arms at night. And Rock was the first company to stabilize tretinoin in a non-prescription form. That was Rock, you guys. That wasn't like some fancy, skincare company. That was Rock who did that. That's why we can buy the stuff on over the counter. We can buy the Paula's Choice 1%. We can buy the ordinary 1% in squalene, because Rock is the first person who said, like, let's figure out a way to stabilize tretinoin without a prescription. Thanks, Rock. Okay. So like I said, retinaldehyde is one step that's a little bit closer. That's going to be a little bit more intense. So it's one step away from this. And my top picks for those are the, gosh, I wish I would have brought that, the Murad Resurgence Retinol Resculpt Overnight Treatment. It's an encapsulated vitamin A, and it's 2.5 times as effective as free retinol. So it has complementary ingredients, which is great as well. So it's ideal for balanced, oily combination, dry skin. And then let's talk about the retinoids for acne. When you go to the dermatologist, they're probably going to give you something like this for acne. But I'm telling you, try this for an over-the-counter without having to go to a dermatologist, because two things that I would say. I love this, which we're going to talk about chemical peels in just a second. This is by Paula's Choice. This is the 2% BHA, and I love this for acne. So remember, we have to be strategic in treating your skincare concerns. Not everybody else's, not what you're seeing, that, oh, this great new product. I can't tell you how many times my daughters have bought, like, this product was recommended by this 20-year-old influencer, and this 20-year-old, you know, and they get the products and then all of a sudden it just thrashes their skin. They've got pimples everywhere and irritation, and mama help me. And I'm like, who are you listening to here? What's going on? You know, listen to the, you know, take your cues from a dermatologist, an esthetician, or somebody who's been doing this stuff for a very, very, very long time. Not a 20-year-old. They've only had skin for 20 years. I'm just going to say that. They've only had skin for 20 years. So how do you know what they're using is working? They have baby skin still. They don't have a crease on their, they don't have a line on their face yet that is even possible in their 20s. So that's not where you should be getting your skincare advice. Okay, my top picks for acne, like I said, was the Differin Gel. La Roche-Posay also makes an adapalene gel at a 0.1%. And then the tretinoin, which you'd see your dermatologist for. So around the eyes, when you're treating fine lines and wrinkles around the eyes, again, I'm going to have you refer to the Younger Eye Protocol guidebook thing, the Younger Eye guidebook, because it has all of the concerns in there. So make sure that you do that. And then we're talking about the best prescription retinoids. Tretinoin is number one. There's another version called Altrino, which is prescription strength, but it's formulated with ingredients to ease irritation, because a lot of people get irritated from things like this. Apostrophe.com is also an online skincare pharmacy. So if you want prescription strength, but you don't want to see your dermatologist, you can go to apostrophe.com. I have no affiliate marketing. Don't get a penny from them. And then there's like the really hard-hitting one, which is Tirazitine, which is the strongest formula you can get, Tirazitine. And sometimes I'll use that on my abdomen because I did grow 3 human beings in this stomach. And so I've got some crepey skin on the top of my belly button. And so this, yes, a prescription strength works like this, but when you want to really hit something hard and really change that, like, let's get rid of this skin and let's really kind of irritate this and increase the cell turnover. Tirazitine is one of those things that I'm starting to use on my abdomen, and I'm going to start using it on the top of my knees as well. Okay, so body retinols, remember, our skin doesn't stop here. It's everywhere. Our skin is everywhere. So everywhere that you have crepey skin, I would say this, that would be everywhere eventually for everybody. That would be everywhere eventually for everybody. So if you can use retinoids everywhere, you're staving that off. You're thickening the skin. You're improving the health of the skin. You're increasing that cell turnover, right? So for the body retinoids, I like Versed has a retinol body lotion. Paula's Choice has a body retinol. But really what I tend to do is I'll take this. I'll take like a nickel-sized amount or a dime, more of a dime-sized amount, and then I'll take my favorite body cream. I like the CeraVe SA, which is my mouth isn't working. I like the CeraVe SA, which is a salicylic acid body cream. It comes in a big tub, and I'll oftentimes mix this together on the back of my hand before I apply it to my body at night. Okay, so retinoids on your body at night, that's a good thing. Okay, so let's just talk about briefly why people give this up. It has to do with the sensitivity and with the peeling and flaking. Listen, you might look like crap for about 3 weeks, but it's worth it if you can get through it. And there's some steps to get through it. Start small, and by that, you want to choose first the retinoid that's right for you. If you've got a choice between a 0.05 and a 0.025, the point, this is just math, the 0.025 is weaker than a 0.05. The 0.1 is the strongest, okay? Hold on. So this is the order from weakest to strongest. Okay, so pick the retinoid that's right for you, or do the over-the-counter ones. The ordinary 1% I said again, and the Paula's Choice 1%. Those are great starters. Or you do an adapalene like this. Apply a pea-size amount, and then you put the dots everywhere, so you don't just start with a clump and then try to spread it around. It's not going to spread as easily. So just like you saw me do that with my arms with the dots, you put a pea-size amount there, and then you dot. Right? You get it all to where you've got a face full of dots, and then you spread it around. If you're sensitive around your eyes, the skin around our eyes is much thinner than the skin here. The skin around our nose is much thinner than it is out here. Around our mouth is much thinner than it is out here. So if you are one that gets sensitive in those areas, you can put a little bit of a barrier there. So you do a little bit of Aquaphor, or a little bit of a moisturizer first around there, and then apply the retinoid on top. You can also sandwich it. So you do a moisturizer, a retinoid, a moisturizer. Let your skin get used to it, and then you'll start decreasing the moisturizer that goes on first. Does that make sense, everybody? Avoid using retinoids if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Instead, you're gonna opt for, oh God, for me to find it in here, it'd be like, oh, an azelaic acid. So if you're pregnant or nursing, an azelaic acid is still a great exfoliant that is going to be safe for you to use. And if you have rosacea, first of all, see your dermatologist. Second of all, this one might be right for you, because rosacea, retinoids can make rosacea a little bit inflamed. And this one I've realized, because I have a touch of rosacea, a little bit of pink in my face, but I've realized that this one is way, way better for my rosacea. Okay, and then once we get the retinoid on, you could do a little niacinamide after that, if you're really trying to work on dark spots. But then you're using a moisturizer, and the moisturizer I urge you to use sparingly. To use it sparingly, because it does decrease the effectiveness of a retinoid. So if you put on the moisturizer first, you're creating a little bit of a barrier. So when you put the moisturizer and then you put the retinoid, you're creating a little bit of a barrier. So I would not use a moisturizer on my face at night unless I already had an active that I was using. Because otherwise, if you're only moisturizing at night, you're creating lazy skin cells. Okay, so you want an active first, and then you can moisturize. But just make sure that when you're doing these three phases, the wash, the treat, and the protect, that the treatment phase is the most important. That's where you're going to get all of the benefits, is the treatment phase. So in the morning, it's the vitamin C, maybe niacinamide, right? In the nighttime, it's a retinoid. Those are the treatments. Those are the most important parts. Morning and night. Those are the most important parts. Now we can talk about the moisturizer. I like the CeraVe PM. I also like, God, it's going to take me, I went through this and picked them all out. And now I was like, I don't know what happened to all of them. But I also like the Zeoskin Health Growth Factor Serum as a moisturizer on top, and Olay Regenerist. Like I said, Olay's been doing this a long time, you guys. This helps to kind of lift and tighten the skin. The Olay Regenerist Sculpting Cream. Yeah, micro sculpting cream. This stuff is like great. So if you use a moisturizer over the top of your retinoid, I really like this one by Olay. Now so that's daily, right? That's the stuff that we're doing daily, every morning, every night. You're washing, you're treating, you're protecting with effective skincare that's right for your skin. When we're talking about the skincare protocol in terms of the overall, what do we do for our skin? What do I personally do for my skin? I do a chemical peel once a week. So if you look on my calendar, again, you would just DM me protocol or skincare protocol. It's going to have you sign up for the newsletter. But I send out a newsletter every Tuesday that kind of highlights what happened in the live, gives you an option to rewatch that, and gives you the clickable links. So that's about it. You get a newsletter every Tuesday. I don't bombard you with stuff, but it's really to make your life easier to find the stuff that I'm talking about. So if you want the protocol, everything that I have is free, even the microneedling protocol, everything that I have is free. This one just requires you to sign up for the newsletter. So I do a chemical peel once a week. And the reason why I do that is because if I were to do a big chemical peel in a dermatology office, I wouldn't be able to do it once a week. I might be able to do it once every 3 months, once every 6 weeks, I think is what they normally recommend. And you would do like a series of 3 of those. I'm telling you, you can get the same kind of treatments at home if you're just more consistent with them. So that's why I came up with this in the first place. And I did a whole live on chemical peels. So again, you could go to my story highlight and click on those highlights and find the one that says chemical peels, and that will take you to that live show. Can you do a chemical peel at home? Absolutely you can. They improve the skin texture by decreasing the pore size. So your pores will shrink. They reduce the small bumps. They treat melasma, lighten dark spots, and even out the skin tone. They stimulate collagen, which improves fine lines and wrinkles, and it works to unclog the pores, so it treats existing acne and helps to prevent further breakouts. So how do they work? A chemical peel works in that when you're looking at the epidermis, which is that top layer of the skin, the cells are grouped together. They're linked together, right? They're bonded together. And what the chemical peels do is they loosen these bonds. So then this top cells can slough off and you've got the baby cells underneath. So they help to loosen those bonds between the old skin cells and the newer, fresher ones underneath. That's how they work. So think about doing that once a week. Not just, once every 6 weeks or once every three months at a dermatology office. But if you can find one, and I'm gonna give you a guide, but if you can find one that you can use on a weekly basis that's right for your skin, you're gonna see a big difference. And especially layer that with the effective skincare, you're gonna see a big difference in your skin. So there's 3 main groups. Again, go and look for that live. I wonder if I should just speed through these. The main group that's in most of the chemical peels at home is the alpha hydroxy acids. You'll see this AHA. Those are the alpha hydroxy acids. They're the most prevalent in all of the skincare, and it's glycolic is the main one for that. It's great for a wide variety of stuff that you're trying to treat and for a wide variety of skincare, a wide variety of skin types, okay? It is the smallest. So glycolic acid is the smallest molecule in terms of the acids for at home, and so it's gonna penetrate it's going to penetrate the deepest. So the glycolic acids are the most prominent at home, but it's a smaller molecule of the AHAs, and it's going to penetrate deeper. Okay. Lactic acids are also an AHA. Let's see if I have a lactic acid in here. Yes. This is by Biossance, and this is a squalene plus lactic acid resurfacing night cream. So this is a slightly larger molecule. The glycolic is a smaller molecule, still in the AHAs. Glycolic is a smaller molecule. It's going to penetrate the deepest. The larger molecules, like in a lactic acid, still in AHA, is a little bit more for a more sensitive skin because it's a larger molecule. It's not going to penetrate as deep. So the larger the molecule, it's going to sit on the surface a little bit more. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. So for the lactic acid, I do like. Let's see, let's do my AHA, my glycolic. I really like the ordinary AHA 30%, BHA 2% peeling solution. I do this one a lot, not a lot, but at least once a week, I'll do a chemical peel, and this is usually the one that I do. I love this one. That's the one that you see that you get bright, you're bright red and it looks like you've got blood all over your face, but it's really just a peel. I really like this one. You leave it on for 10 minutes, you rinse it off. Your skin is like shiny and glowy after that, right? I'm just looking at this. Any marks? Yeah, I got a little mark there. Yeah, remember you guys, I don't have makeup on today. So no, I don't have any concealer, no nothing. This is almost 56, and this is real consistency, like really consistent with what I do. I don't even remember the last time I went to bed at night and didn't have on a retinoid of some sort. Like, it's not even in my recollection. I must have been in my 20s. That's how consistent I am with my skincare. So lactic acid, like I said, bigger molecule. If you've got sensitive skin, that would be something that's a little bit more tolerable. And then my favorite lactic acids, the Ordinary makes a lactic acid, 10%. plus H plus hyaluronic acid. So this is a lactic acid 10% plus HA, which is hyaluronic acid. And then the Biosense squalene, I also love, which is a 10% lactic acid. And then the less irritating of all of those is mandelic acid, and that's for really sensitive skin. I wonder if I brought one over. Yeah, I did. This is by the Ink Key. This is mandelic acid. So I'll oftentimes use this if I want to peel my chest and my neck, because the skin on your neck is different than the skin on your face. The skin on your neck does not secrete oil. The skin on your face secretes oil. The way you treat your neck has to be very different than the way you treat the rest of your body. It loses collagen fast too, because we're turning our necks all the time. So it thins the skin as we age, and we have to be very careful not to break that skin barrier, or you will not be happy. I would never use a retinoid at my age anyways, because my skin has thinned with age. Even though I do all the right stuff, aging is inevitable. It's gonna happen. We're not chasing every line on our face. The goal of great skincare and being happy with your skin at every age is not to chase every line, every dent, every dimple, you're not chasing that. You're thinking about the health of your skin. How do you trick your skin into behaving like it did when it was younger? Through cell turnover. And chemical peels are one of those ways. But you don't want to cause more harm than good. So a mandelic acid, if you've got really sensitive skin, is great. And it's still an alpha hydroxy acid, right? And then there's the beta hydroxy acids, which salicylic acid is the beta hydroxy acid that is in all skincare. So if you see a salicylic acid in skincare, it's a BHA. This is my favorite by Paula's Choice. I just used this last night, actually. It's a 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. It is great. It is safe enough to use every day. So if you decide, I can't use a retinoid, I don't like it, I don't want to do it, find a chemical peel that will work for you on a daily basis. This could be one of them, and it's great for acne. Make sense? Okay. And then how often? I do it once a week. I would caution to do it more than that at home, especially if you're using retinoids and other stuff, because you can damage that skin barrier, and it's very uncomfortable and takes a long time, a lot of Aquaphor and stuff to be able to heal those skin barriers once you've disrupted that. Okay, we're gonna just go to the skincare gadgets, and then I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, because it's not only, ultimate skincare is not only about what you put on topically, it's also about creating a functionally healthier skin, and to do that sometimes takes at-home gadgets. So red light therapy is, if I had to pick one thing, one at-home gadget to do for my skin, for the health of my skin, it would be red light therapy. The second one would be microneedling. But red light therapy does so much more than just improve skin tone and texture and fine lines and wrinkles and all of that. It increases the circulation of the skin. So all of the nutrients that we're getting through our diet are more accessible to the skin when we're increasing the circulation. It even helps to grow hair, right? Because it's a vasodilator. It helps with the circulation of the skin. So when we're talking about an at-home device, if you're somebody that loves at-home devices and you don't have a red light therapy device of some sort, you're missing out a huge opportunity. Decreases inflammation in the skin, so you could even be irritated from your retinoids, or irritated from your chemical peels, or irritated from microneedling, and you're healing. And this also helps with wound healing. So if you want my top red light therapy picks, you just DM me the word red light, and I give you my top picks. I make sure that I give all different price points. This one by Omnilux is expensive. I don't feel that good skincare needs to be, exclusively for the rich and famous. I'm sorry. There's other options as well. Don't do it here. Clamond 6223, when you put the red light, let me post this to my main feed first, and then in the comment section put red light, and it'll send you a DM with my top red light therapy devices. And you can get a good mask for like under $100. I actually have one on my, it might be 127. I think it's on my Amazon skincare storefront, and that Amazon link is in my bio. If you look at my linked tree, you'll see the little Amazon icon. That'll take you to the skincare store as well. So when we're talking about at-home devices, red, like I said, is my top device. Microneedling is my second top device. Let me see if I have my little, oh yeah. My favorite obviously is the Dr. Pen, and the reason why I like this is because it has sterile needles. What microneedling does is it creates perforations in your skin with these needles. Sterile, and there's a whole protocol on it. If you don't have my microneedling protocol, it starts with safety first. There's a whole section on safety, okay? Then I go and show you what the needle depths are that you can start out with on each body part, because our skin is different in each section. I wouldn't do the same depth on my cheek that I would do on my eyelid, right? It's different skin. So you're gonna hit bone here where you've got a lot of anatomy to get through here. That's how the needle links change. Does that make sense, everybody? So what does microneedling do? You can also use rollers, and maybe I'll do a little bit of microneedling tomorrow at 11. I can finish this lecture with those kind of at-home treatments and really talking about the protocol. But if you would like the microneedling protocol, absolutely free. You just DM me afterwards or put in the comment section microneedling, and you'll get this free guidebook that shows you the needle links, the post-care, you know, has everything in there. I try to make it super easy for you guys. I want everybody to have the information. Everybody deserves to have their best skin, your best skin, right? I have a vein in my face. Would I still microneedle? I would have to see the vein. You can book a one-on-one consult with me. Again, like I would have to see that vein. I want to see if that's caused from, is it a broken capillary or what the situation is? There's a lot of things that microneedling can help. It can help with scars. It can help with stretch marks. It can help with acne marks, fine lines and wrinkles, diminishing pore size, evening out skin tone. Microneedling does a lot, but what it does, the theory, not the theory, but what science shows, it creates those microtraumas that calls on your own body to produce collagen and elastin. You don't want to overdo it, and you need to make sure that when you're doing these different modalities, like radio frequency, I do radio frequency twice a week. This is the Lumo, but you can DM me the word radio frequency, and I'll give you my top radio frequency devices. Radio frequency heats the dermis between 41 and 43 degrees Celsius that stimulates the production of collagen. So it's heat shocking those fibroblast cells to produce collagen and elastin. That's what radio frequency does. When we're talking about microcurrent, like this MyoLift Mini, creates a small electrical current in the skin. This is great for lymphatic drainage, right? So we talked about eye bags earlier to push out the fluid and still stimulate a little bit of, you know, cell turnover and a little bit of like waking up those skin cells and waking up those cells to produce collagen and elastin. Microcurrent is great for that. So it's all on this weekly thing. And people have often asked me when they see this protocol, they're like, do you just spend all day doing skincare? No, I don't. I exercise, I meditate, I do all this stuff. I eat right, I do all the stuff. I'm in the middle of creating a 12-week healthy aging course that I'm super excited about. 1 full week is devoted to skincare. 1 full week of that 12-week course is devoted to skincare. So there's a lot of research that I do as well, but no, it's 30 minutes or less a day. On Sundays, I microneedle some part of my body and I switch. I could do my face, I could do my neck and chest, I could do my abdomen, I could do my knees, I could do the back of the arms. It changes every week. But I know that every Sunday, I'm microneedling. I'm creating those microtraumas to stimulate the collagen production. On Mondays, I'm doing red light therapy. I'm making sure that I'm getting a good red light therapy treatment. Usually I'll do, these kind of masks last about 10 minutes. So on days, these kind of masks that last about 10 minutes the treatment time, right? But if I just microneedled on Sunday, I'm going to press that button 2 more times and do a 30-minute red light therapy treatment because I want to heal, and red light therapy helps with wound healing. Tuesday, I'm again full light body panel for red light therapy. Wednesday, I'm doing radio frequency, so I'm heating the dermis. I'm heating that dermis, and I am stimulating collagen production by heating the dermis. It also helps to like really help with skin tightening on the lower part of the face. I usually use radio frequency on the lower part of the face and more microcurrent all over the face and especially like around the eyes. So Wednesday is my radio frequency day. Thursday, I'm back on my red light therapy mask. Friday, I'm doing microcurrent. Saturday, I'm doing radio frequency. I'm back Sunday doing another body part for microneedling. In the meantime, I'm also dry brushing every day. I take a 3-minute freezing cold shower, which is great. Actually, I switched that to a cold plunge. It's even more intense when you're in the bathtub. And your bathtub water comes out between 50 and 60 degrees. You do not need to hike through the snow and like hatchet through a frozen pond. Turn your cold water on in your bathtub. Get all the way in, 2 to 3 minutes. Great for your skin. So I dry brush first and then I do a 3-minute, it's actually 2 minutes and 48 seconds. And the reason why I know this, I thought it was 2 minutes and 37 seconds, but it's no, 2 minutes and 48 seconds I'm in the water. And that's because that's the entire length of the Rocky theme song. And that's whatever you have to do to get in, that's what I have to do to get in. And then at night, I'm doing a hot soak. So all of these are great for your skin, but the at-home gadgets, you know, when done consistently, can they mimic what you can get done in office? I think so. I think so. I've been doing this a long time, and I used to do almost everything in office, and I've switched to almost everything at home. And I'll do those yearly things in the office. Now, the one thing that I don't do at home, obviously, is I don't get my own Botox. And for those of you who are like, oh, she does Botox? Let's be real, okay? I'm almost 56 years old. I'm not going to bullshit you guys on these lives. I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. In fact, I think I even put it in my story when I had Botox. When I got Botox, I just got my Botox 3 days ago. I did a story series, which was a day in the life of. And I learned a couple things during that day of the life of story series that I did. One is the Rockies theme song is not 2 minutes and 37 seconds. It's 2 minutes and 48 seconds for my cold plunge. That was number one. Number two, I really needed to get highlights for my hair. So I got new highlights because my hair was just, I felt I had like taken, you know, just like was not on the self-love path with my hair. And because the stuff that was going through with my family and stuff. So I'm like, wow, I'm way past highlights and I'm way past Botox. So those were the 3 things that I learned on that whole thing. But yes, I get Botox. I get Botox probably 3 to 4 times a year. When I first started, I was in my 30s and I would get Botox twice a year. I'd get it in November and then around before my birthday in April. So November and April, that's how I started. Over the years, I'm now almost 56. You're such a wealth of information. Thanks for sharing. For craft's sake, thank you so much. I love seeing you here every week. I really do. It really touches my heart to see the same people come back and want to learn more every single week. It's the thing, it's the wind beneath my wings. It's the thing that keeps me wanting to do this when I get those comments of like, you've learned so much, or like, I know you've put stuff into practice. Oh, that's heaven to me. Heaven to me. As a healthy aging coach and a gerontologist and somebody who really, I didn't grow up with money. And you look at the rich and famous and you think, are they aliens? They just don't age? No, they have people telling them what to do, and they've got an unlimited amount of funds to throw at dermatologists and plastic surgeons and all of that stuff. But you can, ordinary people, that's me, ordinary people can do this stuff at home if you're smart about it, if you learn about it, if you know what you're doing. Don't do your Botox at home. I don't care who you are. Don't do your Botox at home. There's so many things that can go bad. There just are. So I do Botox now at the age of almost 56. I've upped my game, so it's not just twice a year. Now I go about 3 times a year, so every 4 months. And I wait to see the movement in my face a little bit. right? I don't want my muscles to atrophy. I want to see the movement in my face a little bit. And then when I do that, I make a mental note, okay, I need to get in for Botox. I saw it last month, but you know, life happens and I didn't get in. And then when I did that, day in the life of, I'm like, holy shit, I gotta get back in for Botox. So yes, I get Botox in my crow's feet. I get Botox on my bunny lines. I mean, you can still see them, right? So it's not completely frozen. If I were to squint my nose, you'd be like, she's squinting her nose. Yeah, but you should have seen me before I got Botox. It was a lot. It's a lot. I get Botox in my 11s here. Not that I'm angry a lot, but I do get Botox in my 11s here, and I get Botox up here. When I don't have Botox, everybody, if I were just to go like this and with no Botox in my face, guess what my face looks like? Like this. Botox does not erase existing wrinkles. It softens them, but Botox is preventative. It's the permanent etching in the skin that leaves the skin with the etches. When you paralyze that muscle, then you don't have that opportunity to constantly make those etches. It's preventative, and I've been doing it since early 30s, and I'm almost 56. It's not a miracle because the sands of time keep on pouring, but it is great for prevention. I do a lot in my neck because I lift weights, so I'm constantly like, I'm sure that was beautiful on camera. But you get these bands that happen, plus our neck skin thins as we age. You get the bands that happen that will pull this down, right? And if you do like a Nefertiti lift where you do Botox around the jaw and in the neck bands, it lifts this up and softens that jawline. Does that make sense? That you cannot do at home. You can chisel out a little bit with some radio frequency, which I'm going to show you tomorrow. You can chisel out a little bit and define that jawline and work on those jowls with radio frequency. But it's the combination of Botoxing the neck and Botoxing along the jawline that give you that a little bit more of a defined jaw. Does that help? Okay, I'm going to talk briefly about injectables because this is just, they're way overdone this year. And I don't mean injectables about Botox. Because you can have Botox and say like, I still want to move my face. You don't have to be completely frozen. I missed that question. Do you do microneedling after Botox? You can do microneedling after Botox. I would say after any injectable, you want to wait for at least a couple of weeks. And I am not somebody who does filler. I do collagen stimulators, biostimulators. It's very different than a normal filler. But if you're somebody that does fillers, you want to wait. I would wait at least a month, wait 4 weeks before you microneedle. So what you could do is you could microneedle, go in and get your fillers, wait for that full month, microneedle again. That's how I would do that. If you are somebody that does get Botox, I just want to warn you about this. Microcurrent might not be your friend because what you're doing is you're stimulating muscle contractions. Even though it's slight with microcurrent, you're stimulating muscle contractions and energizing those cells. And if you have frozen those cells, your Botox will wear off a lot sooner. Okay, but I want to talk really quickly just about injectables, and then we'll wrap this up and I'll see you guys tomorrow. There's 2 categories of facial fillers, okay? I caution against fillers. The reason is because dermatologists and plastic surgeons make a ton of money on fillers. So what do you think they want to do all the time? Put fillers in you. They make a ton of money on fillers. There's a giant markup on fillers. There's more markup on fillers than there is on Botox. And a lot of times, plastic surgeons and dermatologists will have like a cabinet full of fillers. Think of it like you have a cabinet full of hammers. I'm going to hammer something. You have a cabinet full of hammers. Everything looks like a nail. Everything looks like a nail. So they want to put injectables into everything because their markup is big and they have that tool and they want to use it. I caution against that. I get Botox, like I said, that's an injectable every 3 to 4 months. Fillers, I caution about it. I do injectables that are more collagen stimulators, which is Radius and Sculptra. Radius and Sculptra is not Juvederm. It's not the hyaluronic acid based fillers. It's very, very different. The hyaluronic acid based fillers where you like see the big cheeks and the big lips and that is not from a collagen stimulator. That's from a hyaluronic acid filler. And those fillers, although they say last 3 to 4 months, who's saying they last 3 to 4 months? The dermatologist who's injecting them more into your face? Who's saying that? Because there's a lot of evidence that say they never really go away. So then you've got filler in your face, oftentimes injected into the wrong space. You never put filler down here, you guys. That's not how the human face ages. Woo, I'm on a roll. I'm just going to keep going, you guys. That's not how the human face ages. I've done this before. Wow, that's really... Let me try to do this again. I've done this before, but if you're putting filler, if your dermatologist is putting filler, let me try to see if I can get this again. Filler in your face to simulate cheekbones or anything like that. This is how our face is normally shaped. And it varies, of course, with everybody. But our face is normally shaped like this. Not exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like an upside down egg when we're younger. When we get older, we lose fat at the temple. So we'll get this dip. You see how I have this dip right here? I'm thinking about doing sculpture right there to have my own body produce, this is the side I sleep on. We lose fat at the temple. We lose fat at the cheek. We lose muscle and bone. Our bone diminishes as we age. And then everything goes this way. So if we think about it, turn this upside down, this is where we end up in midlife with a fuller lower face, loss of fat in the temple, right? Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah. So we end up with this upside down. So you lose fat here, and people will want to inject it here. And then we get heavy down in here, right? So the last place you want to do an injectable that's a hyaluronic acid based injectable is down here. Sometimes people do a super hyper diluted Juvederm or something, which will work kind of similar to a biostimulator, but I still don't recommend that. So the biostimulators, they're still injected. It still looks like you're getting an injection, but it's Radius and Sculptra. And what those do is that it leaves like little dissolvable, you know the stuff that dissolvable sutures are made out of? They mix that with a bunch of saline. And so it gets injected, and so it fills out immediately, but that saline gets absorbed by your body, and what you're left with are the tiny particles that would be in dissolvable sutures. And that irritates inside the dermis, irritates that to the point where your skin cells say like, I need to produce collagen and elastin and kind of like heal this part. And then those little particles dissolve completely into your body. And what you're left with is a collagen stimulated by your own body. Come on, that's pretty good. So that's very different than the other type of, the other type of injectables that have long-term effects and don't necessarily stay put. But the two things that I'm about to do, and I will film them and show you guys, is I'm gonna do a little Sculptra in my temples because I've lost some fat in my temples here. And I'm gonna do a very diluted Sculptra right in here. You do not want somebody to fill, I just lined my lips. I don't do anything for my lips, but I microneedle them. You don't want somebody to fill a filler, a hyaluronic acid-based filler in here. That's not how the face ages. And what's going to happen is it could shift and move and make these kind of folds more prominent. So you can go in and say like, I want to fix this. And they'll say, oh, we're going to put a little something here to disguise this marionette line. We'll fill this in. And then all of a sudden, all of this is puffed out and you look like a weirdo. That was the wrong term to say. You don't look like yourself. And you don't realize you don't look like yourself because every 3 or 4 months, your dermatologist is saying, the last 3 or 4 months, let's go back in. And you're chasing something that is going to make your face not your natural face. I have fat transfer in my cheeks. That's a really good question. I don't have sculpture in my cheeks, but I probably should do a little bit more. You know, the human face is not symmetrical. Don't ever chase that either, because it will not work to your advantage. It's okay that the left side of our face doesn't match our right side of our face. In utero, our face is formed this way, right? It forms from the back and goes this way. That's how the human head is formed in a mother's stomach. It would be weird if it was just completely symmetrical, right? It's actually a little off-putting when somebody is super symmetrical. So don't chase that. You're going to end up having somebody inject a bunch of stuff in your face that you're going to regret. Okay. So that said, I am going to be doing a little bit of Sculptra, and I will film it. Sculptra, which again, not a filler. It is a collagen stimulator. It's not a hyaluronic filler. So it's not going to stay there. The saline will dissipate, and then my body will make its own collagen and elastin. I'm going to do it right here where you see this dip. It's more on this side because this is the side I sleep on. And I'm going to have them in this part. Instead of putting the filler here and a filler here, I'm going to do a Sculptra here to help this skin tone. Remember, I don't have makeup on, you guys. Just a little mascara, I filled my eyebrows in, but I don't have anything on my face. But you can see the texture at 56 years old is a little bit not as great as here. So I'm going to do a little bit of a Sculptra in here that will help build that up again and help this disguise this, not disguise, because it's not disguising. When you're doing a collagen stimulator, a biomodulator, you're not disguising anything. You're calling on your own body. Sculptra can last, well, here's the thing. A lot of people like the Juvederms and those kind of things, those hyaluronic acid things, because it's instant gratification. Sculptra takes about 3 months for it to build up in your system. You'll get that initial like puffed out thing because you've got the saline in there, but it goes away and it takes 3 months or so to build that collagen up. And then it's just about how long does that last when you've got new collagen in there? It could last a long time. It might not last as long as like you're continuing to inject hyaluronic acid type fillers into your face, but it's natural, and your body is then increasing the cellular turnover, increasing the collagen production, increasing the elastin production. So you're improving the health of your skin. Does a hyaluronic acid injection like a Juvederm or anything like that help with improving the health of your skin? No. Does a Radiesse or a Sculptra that's a biomodulator and collagen stimulator help with the health of your skin? Yes. Yes. So regular, did I say that backwards? I hope not. Oh my God. That's what I was trying to say. If I didn't say this correctly, and you guys can tell me, did I say this correctly? The hyaluronic acid injections, the typical hyaluronic acid injections that you see with the big lips and the big cheeks and all of that stuff, those are like the Juvederm type of things, the hyaluronic acids. Those do not improve the health of your skin. But does a Sculptra or a Radiesse that is a biomodulator, a collagen stimulator, improve the health of your skin? Yes, it does. Other things that you can do in office are like PRP, platelet-rich plasma. They draw the blood, they spin it, and then they inject the platelet-rich plasma, and it's combined with it's called a Buffy coat. It's and a solution that contains immune cells, and it's becomes stabilized, and it's injected back into the skin to help your own body produce collagen and elastin. So you can do a PRP injections as well, not the same as a filler. It's a biostimulator. Or a PRF, which is a platelet-rich fibrin, it's the same process of taking the blood out and to spin it. Somebody just said, could you please clarify the advantage of injecting below your chin Sculptra versus not only doing it in the lines under the nose? Absolutely. That's a really good question. Let me just finish with this PRP and PRF. Those are also injectables that you can put in your skin. They spin the blood in a centrifuge. The PRF it contains the platelet-rich plasma, it contains immune cells, and it contains stem cells. And that gets injected back into the skin, and then your body produces its own collagen and elastin. Those are the injectables that I like. Botox and the biostimulator fillers such as Radius and Sculptra, PRP, and PRF. I wouldn't put anything else in my skin that was injected besides like a little fat transfer. If you got some extra fat and you're doing something else, I mean, you can put a little fat in there as well, because we are actually losing fat as we age. Other in-office things like Morpheus 8, Secrets RF, you know, there's a lot of different stuff that you can do in office, and I'll get an expert in here to kind of talk about that. I want to go back to that one question, and then I'm going to get off of here because this has been a really long live, but I think it's been a good one, and I hope you guys have learned a lot. So the question was, and then we'll end here, could you please clarify the advantage of injecting below your chin Sculptra versus not also doing it in the lines under the nose above the lips? When this part here, if we go back to here, the sagging of the jowls is not caused from the loss of volume here. The sagging of the jowls is caused from a loss of volume here, a loss of volume here. I want you to just look at that for a second. You see this line? If you were just to fill here, then you're letting this sag and you're trying to fill this in or fill this in. My idea would be you could do Sculptra in here for sure. I wouldn't do any other filler, but you could do Sculptra in here for sure. But really the difference in terms of like what the cause of this is, it's coming from up here. You see that? You see that, you guys? It's coming from up here, from a loss of fat volume here, a loss of volume here. Do you see that? I'm gonna let go now. So this is the place where if you're gonna do stuff to stimulate collagen production to lift the face, you wanna do it up here. You wanna do it here and you wanna do it here. Make sure when they're doing anything by your eye that they're using a cannula, because there's some bad things that can happen when you're doing injections by the eye, especially in the temple. There is a risk of going blind, so you need to make sure that you're going to a master injector and that they're using a cannula here. Okay, does that make sense, you guys? Okay, so yes, you could do Sculptra injections anywhere you want. It's going to stimulate collagen. But when you're talking about, you know, masking, or not masking, but treating the marionette line here, this is where you need the collagen stimulator here, but you also need it up here. Okay, that's all I got, you guys. Just so you guys know this, if you DM me the word protocol, once I post this to my main feed, which I'm going to do give me 5 minutes and it'll be on my main feed. So make sure you check it out. Please share it with your friends, you guys. Please share these lives with your friends. It helps, not only it helps me. Listen, I don't get a lot of, this doesn't help my algorithm to do these 1 hour shows for you guys. It's probably the worst thing I could be doing, but I don't care because this is the way that I teach. This is the way that I feel is the most benefit to you guys, right? You're going to learn the most this way. So in doing this, please share these live shows when I post them to my feed, because it helps. Yeah, you can share here and tell everybody, hey, she's on a live show, but I'm about to get off. But when I post this, even if you just share it back to me, it helps. And then I just did an 1.5 hour live, and at least it's like, okay, I'm not losing people. But if you want the skincare protocol, you can just DM me the word protocol. If you want like the topical stuff, the optimal skincare routine, that's all the topical stuff, you know, the actual wash, treat, and protect version of that, you can just DM me the word skincare. If you want the microneedling protocol, free, the guidebook, just DM me the word microneedling. I'm trying to make this really simple. If you want the younger looking eyes, free guidebook, DM me younger looking eyes. And by that, you can either DM me or you can put all of those in the comment section. And then that's it. I think, oh, and the retinoids. If you want the retinoids guidebook, which retinoid is right for you, just put in the comment section, retinoids. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen. That's very, very sweet. Okay, so I'm going to be here tomorrow. I have to do a treatment on myself tomorrow. I might microneedle my stomach tomorrow. I'm going to do a little bit of radio frequency. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this protocol with the at-home gadgets, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. And you guys, I thank you guys so much for being here. Okay.